C can be a huge IBS trigger. Statements like this are not only wrong, and I'll say why in a second, but it's also misleading. So why is this person saying things like this? Why are they saying vitamin C is a huge IBS trigger? Is it because they haven't got a clue? Is it because they're trying to protect you from gut symptoms, although in turn they could actually cause you a nutritional deficiency that leads to health consequences? I don't know why they're saying things like that, but it's not helpful of them and it could cause you harm, which is why I'm sharing this with you. And this also highlights that having a little bit of information or a tiny bit of knowledge can be dangerous. So what does that mean to you? What does that statement mean? Vitamin C can be a huge IBS trigger. And in practical terms, what does that mean to you? Does it make you think that vitamin C will trigger my IBS? So then that means that foods containing vitamin C will trigger my symptoms, which means I must avoid all foods containing vitamin C, which means, I don't know what foods do actually contain vitamin C. So I need to go and research and find all the different foods that contain vitamin C. And also I must avoid supplements that contain this vitamin. But guess what? If you do this for a few months, you're at risk of scurvy. And scurvy is the disease caused by vitamin C deficiency. And then if you do that, you can then expect things like feeling tired and weak, irritability, achy leg pain, swollen bleeding gums, tooth loss, you get bruised easily, you get red and blue spots appear on your skin. And if you get injured, your wounds won't heal as quickly, just to name a few signs and symptoms. Not good. So why is this statement BS? Here's why. And then just focusing on the vitamin C element. Having foods containing vitamin C and not having mega high doses of it doesn't trigger gut symptoms. It can be the other components in these foods that could be triggering symptoms in some people with IBS. Not specifically the vitamin C, unless you have high doses of it. So having 1 gram or more of this vitamin a day can cause gut symptoms. So it's the consequence of the high dose of the vitamin C that can cause gut symptoms such as stomach pains, diarrhea and gas. Yes, IBS does cause these kinds of symptoms, but just because someone has these kinds of symptoms doesn't automatically mean it's IBS. And people without IBS who take high doses of this vitamin can get gut symptoms too, meaning that this statement is a load of rubbish. So if you were to have, if you were going to trigger gut symptoms with this vitamin, how do you get 1 gram or more a day? Well, you can easily hit this or exceed this amount if you take supplements. So what are foods then? So if you eat a lot of foods containing vitamin C, our body will use what it needs. And because it's water soluble, which means it dissolves in water and it isn't stored in our body, if we eat a lot of foods in this vitamin, we'll just pee out any excess. And to put it into perspective, to hit this amount, you'd need to eat, for example, 20 or at least 20 big oranges in one sitting, which is highly unlikely unless you're doing some kind of fruit and veg version of man versus food. So it's not the food sources of vitamin that we need to worry about. It's the supplements. And it's this distinction that the person failed to mention. And then if we do take supplements, we need to make sure that we don't exceed the recommended amounts. All this goes to show why you should be wary of who you get your IBS and health advice from. So protect your health and your sanity and only seek out advice from formally qualified healthcare professionals. So steer clear of these self-proclaimed health experts or fellow IBS sufferers who haven't got any relevant or formal qualifications and experience. Unless, of course, you want to gamble with your health and well-being, which hopefully you don't want to do that. And if you've got any questions or comments, please drop them below and don't forget to follow me for any more hints and tips for IBS.